Should I wait for a minute or should I restart?
Ma'am, just 2 minutes, participants are coming.
Okay, thank you. Please share my slides again.
Okay.
Slide 4, please.
Ishrat, please share the slides. And share the slides we are about to start. Miss Ishrat, are you there? Miss Shiza, Miss Ishrat, are you there?
Yes, I'll share the slide in a minute. Please wait.
Okay, okay.
In the meanwhile, I can also continue if that's okay.
Okay, ma'am, you
Okay,
may.
ma'am, you may. Basically, in the short term, we provide them with the medication, the health services, the food, and food replacements, which have a longer shelf life. Because definitely, when there is infrastructure, is definitely all destroyed, like in Tehran. So we cannot expect them like in giving them rice or grains so they can cook because there's no cooking facility. So we have to immediately provide them with the foods which provide all the macro and micronutrients in small amounts with a longer shelf life, which has already been done in the past and it can be done now as well. Cash definitely helps in a long way. It can also be sent through the embassy, and basically we have to scale up the things. As I was saying that. We can replicate the like Allah Wala Trust is making 75,000 meals a day in Karachi, so that project can be replicated with the help of embassy in Iran and Gaza and Lebanon. So we can the immediate people who are affected. Definitely, Ms. Samra has explained very well the indirect effects. But when we talk about the direct effects which need immediate help, we have to make strong and fast actions accordingly. So when we are talking about the long-term approach, actually we have to help them build. Actually, we have to help them develop their own infrastructure. So it starts first priority of every human being is clean water and healthy food. So when we have gone beyond the long short term approach, when it comes about the long term approach, for example, we is very obvious that Iran has been banned to import and export for last 40 to 45 years because of the US sanctions and other European countries. So because of these sanctions, what they did that they could not get any food or any technology from outside, they started building yours. So now this is the time that these especially countries Gaza, Lebanon, and Iran, they should, if they are given the opportunity, they should start with the agriculture first. When starting an agriculture requires, as Ms. Amra was saying, the fertilizers, then fertilizers has to be prepared and manufactured within the country, and the equipment and the machinery needed has to be um, compiled or assembled or manufactured in the country. So, rapid rehabilitation of local agriculture by empowering local producers, and then distributing seeds, and then distributing the tools which are needed, and using the solar irrigation pumps. So here a generation, a nation can start building, especially starting with the food. Next, please. Next slide, please. So basically, this is my last slide. I'm not going to take so much of your time, but we can all talk about it, the short-term approach and the long-term approach, when there is no combat at the border. There are so many NGOs which find a route when they have to supply the food to a country with the negotiation, like Red Cross, like many other the World Food Program. They all negotiate with the fighting parties that they need a route, a safe route for delivery of foods. But when we are seeing Gaza, they're not allowed to send the food. Even the people who are bringing the food in there, they're not safe if they do it by force. So here we see it as a weapon, that it is as a war weapon, that they are, starvation is given to them. It's on them because because the Israel and the other allies, they want them to starve to death. So it's a double battle. In that case, higher level of negotiation is needed across different combats, and establishing humanitarian corridors. So it's a matter of negotiation then, because the people who are, or even then in this crisis, in these situations, many organizations from Pakistan are working. As I told you, that Al Khidmat and JDC are working very hard on the ground realities. So they are risking their lives to help the lives. So airdrop alternate routes is also a good option, because they need immediate help, they need short-term help. So wherever the safe airspace can be found, the food which I mentioned earlier, like either dried food or food supplements, or best is the food replacements, which provide like 2 packs of that particular food in a day, provide a person's daily kilocalories and micronutrient requirements. And it is important not only for kids but for elderly as well, who are the most vulnerable groups, especially the pregnant ladies and lactating mothers. So at least those groups should be covered. So in also, it is very important when the food even sent by the airdrop routes, then local supervision, like they should actually reach the civilians. So health, education, food, clean water. So if there is, UN has another organization which is establishing electricity generators in Gaza. So they are the primary needs, the connectivity, communication. So this this emergency requires urgent calls and urgent actions. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So basically, we being nutritionists, it's our, I feel that we should try to make budget friendly long term food replacements, and with the help of embassies and NGOs, we should try to manage a route, whether it's a ground route if we are talking about Iran, and whether it can be an air route if we are talking about Gaza or Lebanon. Then we should develop the food which is low cost, and we know a lot of people are giving donations, so we can make it useful, at least by preventing the malnutrition or treating the malnutrition in those countries. So that is in on our behalf. Being a dietitian, we should work on formulating the recipes which at least provide 500 calories with almost 30%, 20 to 30% protein, and 20 to 30% fats, and rest carbohydrates. So we can make sure that if anybody consumes those food replacements, at least they will not suffer from severe malnutrition. And that is just my end of the topic, that it's an emergency, it's a crisis, and it calls for urgent actions. And if we when there is a will, there is a way. So everybody can contribute. We can look for different ways we can help the human, because every life matters. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening the session. Participants, now we move forward to Q&A session. If anyone had any query, they can ask from ma'am. If anyone had any question or answer, they may drop in the chat box. Participants are requested to please drop your question in the chat box. Ma'am, there is a question from Abdul Majid. He's asking, how can a post-war recovery program prevent dependence on humanitarian aid while supporting a long-term reliance?
Should I answer it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Dependence on humanitarian aid. Why we need to prevent? Because that is a short term, and post war recovery program is long term. So both are needed at different times. Long term resilience requires definitely post war recovery program, but immediate need is immediate need. We cannot just skip it and go to the long term program. It starts with short term. So both are independently needed.
I can just add one thing in this. Obviously, there are certain countries in which the situation is already very bad because they are already facing, as Mr. Sneem has said, that since 2 years, 2, 3 years, they are facing these issues, and there is an urgent need to supply food to them because they are actually dying, and many of them have already died. So we cannot, only rely on the long-term programs. However, because this new situation has arisen and it has almost affected every part of the world, so in the countries in which there is no immediate need, we know that in the coming months and in the coming years, they will also be facing some problems. So we need to have those long-term programs for these countries, but obviously the places where there is famine already due to so much problem in agriculture due to lack of fertilizers, etc. So we need to address those immediate problems immediately. Thank you.
Ma'am, there's another question. Alina starts asking, we ensure access to all. It's been observed that during the distribution of the resources, some get it or other not, specifically weak and difficult areas.
I would like to answer it because, as I mentioned in my slide, that the careful supervision is important. So when you are sending the humanitarian aid via ground or through an airdrop, then we need to have a communication with the people on the other side. So, like we see in Gaza, mostly people are living in the shelter homes. So they have big buildings which have converted them into the shelter homes. So if we make a team over there and a team here, the senders and the receivers, then they have to make sure that who are more vulnerable groups. So it requires a lot of communication. So especially weak and difficult areas can be reached, and that is very much observed. I believe Iran, there are also people evacuated their houses, they are displaced, and they are living at different, maybe underground places. So they are living together. So at that point, there there should be communication between senders and the receivers. So it's other population.
Ma'am, Samar, do you want to share any point of view on that?
No, I was just looking at the other question that has just been asked. How do regional geopolitical tensions affect food security in Pakistan? So I just wanted to share this. This has already been. I already mentioned this that Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, many of the Asian countries, they are getting almost 50% of their remittances are coming from the Gulf region. So we cannot say that we are not directly involved. And then we know that the Dubai humanitarian hub accounts for 60% of all humanitarian aid shipped through the UN humanitarian response depot. So all this results in all this actually uh, end up के the Asian countries जो हैं, they are also being almost directly affected by this war. And because of the urea fertilizer exports as well, because we are agriculture countries and we need fertilizers, and many of the fertilizers are coming from the Gulf states. So we are the first thing is that Pakistan is directly being affected, and we are seeing this in our country. Uh, our oil, our petrol prices have gone up, and all the prices of the food items have gone up. We are seeing this all around us. So it's not that we are not being affected, we are directly being affected.
Okay, ma'am, there's another question. Some international organizations provide food at affected wars areas like Iran and so on. My question is that UN motto is create peace in the world. Why UN totally take action in war?
Why UNO totally take action? Why not? Actually, this is like, I don't think this is something related to nutrition. This is a very political question, that why UN is not taking any action against this. I don't think everybody knows that uh, politically what is happening all around.
This is not
matlab,
related to
I
webinar.
don't, this is not related to nutrition at all.
Okay, no issue. We are going moving forward to another question. How can a war-torn nation rebuild their economy without becoming over-reliant on single neutral resources like oil and minerals?
Actually, we are living in a global village. We always say that the world has become a global village. We are dependent on each other. No country can claim, even US cannot claim, or countries who are considered very powerful cannot say this, they are not dependent on others. And I don't think it is now possible even. But what we are talking about in terms of food security, obviously every country should try, but obviously there are limitations. Pakistan, Alhamdulillah, is an agricultural country. So what I think we can do, but many other countries cannot do, because they don't have the land, they don't have the geographical conditions which are suitable for agricultural production of specific foods. So some countries, they are rich in oil, some countries they can produce well. So I don't think we can say that we should try on this, that every country should be very independent economically, and it should not be needing help from any other country. That is like close to impossible. But the point that I really liked when the when Atta Saab said that there should be a global food bank. And then Ms. Tasneem said that we need to address the immediate issues immediately through production of some food which is high in calories, high in proteins, so that we can fulfill the nutritional needs of the people, and stop them from being dying of hunger. Because seeing people dying from hunger is the worst thing that we are seeing, and we are not being able to stop it. And even the reasons and political things aside, the whole world should come on this point, that this type of war in which you are making people die should but is the worst type of things that you can do. So aside from everything else, why you are stopping the food items from reaching Gaza people? Why you are doing this? This is something that should be addressed. And as Mr. Steam has said, that giving food through maybe through aeroplanes, through helicopters, through, I don't know, through any other route, if there is a problem in the other routes, so they should be opened for at least giving food to the people. Even if they stop it for other things, food should not be stopped in any case.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am Tasmin, do you want to show any point of view on this?
Thank you so much. I believe most of the things have been covered, and Ms. Simra has also enlightened us a lot with the need of the hour. So, the bottom line is what we can do. So, the we can do is we can develop the recipes, and then we can engage the policymakers, not right away, but through the NGOs. So, it's not something that we are not supposed to do something. We are supposed to do our part with low budget, high calorie, high micronutrient recipe development is the part of is the JD or the job description of a dietitian as a human as well. Thank you.
Miss Alia, do you have any question as you raise your hand? Miss A-
All the questions. I have main question of equitable distribution of resources, and I think both speakers have highlighted uh, on it. But still, I think that we, in such situation, we need a good surveillance system and communication to ensure that everyone gets the resources according to their needs.
Excellent.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss Alia. So,
Thank
participants, we are done with Q&A session. Now we are about to end on the important key note. Food security is just not about food, it's about survival, dignity, future generations. War leaves scars, but through awareness, education, and collective action, we can rebuild lives. I would like to extend heartfelt thanks to Ms. Samra Tariq and Ms. Tasmeet Ali, and to the all participants for joining us today. Participant, if you want to get your certificates, kindly fill the feedback form that has been put in the chat box. Stay informed, stay passionate, and be part of the solution. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for a
Allah
very
Hafiz.
enlightening and informative session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.